some questions I was going by on the live stream feed about the board. This is the second oversized board we've done like this. This year, if you visit us at Origin Gen Con, you'll see that we had a giant board for Settlers of America. It was actually 3 segmented boards of 6 foot height, and that was 6 foot is important because by rolling those up and put them onto a pallet, at least in the U.S., and make it work. The 9-foot carpet you see here is a little trickier to transport. We can't exactly put it onto a pallet, but we are going to be shipping this around at shows. It's a board that we made up especially for this game for its debut here at the World Championships. The tokens, the number tokens that you see are wooden tokens, so those can be picked up and moved. So although the resources are laid out, are going to be fixed as it were, certainly the numbers can be rotated around that board to create a variety of different number opportunities. So there's certainly enough flexibility there that we can be able to take that around to some other shows and perhaps a convention near you somewhere, okay? And be able to play with that. The pieces are all unique. The pieces are made by the same company that makes our Settlers of Catan licensed tables. And of course, if you had the opportunity to visit Origin Gen Con and see the Settlers of America set that we had, they're also the same company that built that together. Pretty amazing stuff. That is maple. Those are solid maple painted, beautiful wood. So jumping back to the action, it is Erwin's turn, and it looks like 6 is at the game. Next.
Looks like the crowd is getting into this now. They're pretty much starting to announce each of the roles. This makes my job more fun.
All right, again, so as you're looking at the board, a reminder that Ryan is playing orange, Erwin is playing blue, GY is playing white, and Justinas is playing red. So. Let Glover teach you the Settlers of Catan and many other Mayfair games by watching White Glove Movies on www.mayfairgames.com. While you're there, you might also enjoy the Bob and Angus Show, where our news rams bring you the best of Mayfair games and gaming. Of course, Bob and Angus were kind enough to grace us with their presence this weekend and hang out with us on that. We sort of saw them on the board earlier today, so there's always to watch it because we figure they're probably not here necessarily to cheer on the contestants, but perhaps to indulge at the salad bar and see if the trophy was going to their car. Lots of fun. Hopefully you'll get to go out there and visit us on mayfairgames.com. Check out all of our movies there. You also can find us on the Mayfair Games Movies channel on YouTube. So lots of ways for you to track it down and take a look at those videos.
And those white glove videos are very informative. And the person that does the voiceover for those does a very good job, too.
Yeah, it's all right. Anyway. So action continues on the board. I am going to take a quick stroll over to the shadow board and see if I can find out what the shadow is over there. In the meantime, we'll let Bill keep an eye on the board, make sure nothing untoward happens.
Looks like we've run into a series of 7s and 2s, which of course, the way, well, the 2 is right now, nobody's built around it. So no production is being assigned to the players.
Next. Yeah. What did you do? I trade rock. So how much was sold and I like free. Can you give me a free? You get benefit too. Yeah. Free.
One of the players on the shadow board is actually using a dice track of rolls. The distribution obviously has been a little interesting so far. Certainly, if you decided that 2 was your number, this was a good game for you to play 2s, and the 6s right now are rolling above average, and after that those early couple of 8s, and certainly Justinas was able to benefit from those. 8s have certainly gone a little below the curve. So right now 6s and 7s and 2s seem to be the numbers that are a little off the pattern.
Well, Justinas with a strong start has made himself somewhat of a target, as the robber has been bouncing back and forth between the 8s that he is on.
So yes, having a fistful of cards on your first turn of the game rather sticks in people's memories when it comes time to move the robber. So, and of course 8s are always a popular place to put a robber. So, and he's on 2 of them. So,
Robber's currently on the play 5, which he has 2 settlements on. His initial settlement. Rather than one that he built on his first turn. The robber has been pretty well bouncing back off that X and the other 8 that he has ownership of.
So another 6, which means some more ore coming in there for Herbert, and the other 6 on the board here. There's a sheep port that's hanging out doing nothing, or the sheep X doing nothing.
Yes.
So those 6s are benefiting one and only one player.
Oh, that's it. Anything to do?
Big roll.
Trying to see if the roll was a 10. And if so, it looks as if there's only one resource handed out.
Yeah. Well, that's a number of singles, because that 6 is only a single ore for blues. So.
Next.
So certainly in the early going here, there's some play that will probably make it tricky to get a longest road early in the game. The red player is a little bit blocked on the white. Giant dice invade Catan. So as we've gotten more aggressive with the dice rolling, it's gotten closer and closer to the shores of our island, and suddenly disaster strikes.
I don't believe there's a rule in the game that if the dice actually crush your settlement.
I would say both.
So I'll have another roll.
One of the original criteria for rolling the dice for this particular finals was that the dice should not appear roll on the playing area. And since the dice wandered off onto the playing area, they're going to be re-rolled. However, we're still going to try to...
Try again. Keep rolling until you get a 7, apparently, is the plan of the day.
So Herbert on his third chance rolled a 7.
Fire alarm. Fire alarm?
Yes, it's a fire alarm.
We just had a bell go off out in the hallway, and everyone was concerned it was a fire alarm. So,
and for some reason it hasn't interrupted the proceedings here.
Figure perhaps we can get to 3 or 4 points before the smoke inhalation gets us. So.
Yeah, right now.
Yep, Bob is just throwing his arms. He's just amazed at the amount of 7s that we're rolling.
7.
Sure, why not? Here's another 7.
has been blocking his production and stealing from him. So. Yes, we're this Vegas, and we're putting down money. We'd be rolling in it right now with a 7 after 7 roll, but
we would be saying the word 7.
No, we would
but
not.
The cat is already out of the bag.
Indeed. So roll and a 5.
Actually, that's a no roll because it did not hit the wall. We claimed that at this point the dice have to touch the wall in order for this to be valid.
So it's almost Vegas rules at this point.
Yeah, we're actually getting down to Vegas rules here. It has to bounce off the wall, otherwise it's a no
roll. It's
roll.
not a valid roll. So
now all I need to do is have a nice stack of chips up here, and I'll be set to go.
They are, and your complimentary beer, of course. Your complimentary drink would be good. So
I get
so
water, but no beer.
So.
Give me a free. Free. 7.
And another 7 is roll.
How many cards do you have?
So the board has gone a little stagnant now as 7 after 7
as the robber goes
plagued our island.
As the robber goes back to the 5.
Anyone have a skip? What? Sheep. What do you sheep for wood? That one? I don't like the wood.
So if ever the resources begin to flow again, I'm sure many people are now thinking very hard about stockpiling a few knights at the first opportunity they can get.
Well, we've had a run of 7s here, which has sort of stymied the action a little bit. Justinus is the only one who's sort of point in the game.
Of course, that was done on the first turn of his game, so since then, not a lot of resources flowing around the island. So, checking on our live stream feed, we actually see that, of course, this game of Catan might be something that people who are watching this for the first time may not be that familiar with. So what we'd like to do is we're going to take a couple of moments here and give you a very brief rundown of how this game works. If this is your first visit to the island of Catan, you should know that you are in for a treat should you decide to explore it further. But the basics of the game are quite simple. And they are that you are trying to earn 10 points. Points are earned with a combination of buildings that you have on the board, victory point cards that you may have drawn throughout the game, and 2 special awards that are available in the game, largest army and longest row. 10 points are what you need to win. So, the general mechanics are simple. You're looking at an island, and each of those hexes, each of those land areas on that island, produce one of 5 resources. So as you can see, the dark green forest hexes produce wood. The grain hexes, the fields hexes produce grain, and each of those 5 resources that are available in the game are produced by those hexes that you see on your island. The numbers that are on those hexes represent dice rolls, 2d6, and at the beginning of every turn, a player is going to roll those dice and give resources to all of the players who receive, who have buildings bordering a hex with that number. So, for example, if you were looking at the 5 resources that we have there, the wood, brick, ore, grain, and sheep, when a number is rolled, so for example, we have currently rolled